Alright, Reds, gather round because what I'm about to tell you will have you questioning everything you thought you knew about our beloved Nottingham Forest. There's been movement behind the scenes, whispers in the corridors of power, and strategic decisions that are about to reshape the very DNA of our club. You know that feeling when you're watching a match and you can sense something massive is building. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now at the City Ground. And trust me when I say this, we're not just talking about your average transfer window drama here. Something extraordinary has been brewing. Something that connects the dots between global football expertise, strategic recruitment, and a vision that could catapult Forest into an entirely new stratosphere. We're talking about moves that don't just happen by accident. These are calculated, precise, and absolutely brilliant pieces of business that show the world we mean serious business. The kind of business that separates the pretenders from the contenders, the dreamers from the achievers. But here's what's got me absolutely buzzing about all this. It's not just one isolated incident we're dealing with. Oh no, this is a masterclass in modern football operations. A symphony of strategic planning that's been months, maybe even years in the making. Every piece of this puzzle fits together so perfectly, it's almost poetic. Hit that like button right now, because you're about to witness something that'll be talked about for generations of Forest supporters. The first revelation that sent shockwaves through the football world involves a mastermind whose reputation precedes him wherever he goes. We're talking about someone who's operated at the very pinnacle of world football. Someone who's seen what it takes to build champions and knows exactly how to identify the missing pieces of any puzzle. This isn't just any appointment. This is the kind of strategic coup that makes other Premier League clubs sit up and take notice. Edu Gaspar has officially joined Nottingham Forest as global head of football. And let me tell you, this is the kind of signing that changes everything. This Brazilian genius didn't just stumble into this role. He's earned it through years of excellence, both as a player and as one of the most respected executives in modern football. We're talking about a man who won Premier League titles with Arsenal's Invincibles, who lifted FA Cups, and who spent over a decade revolutionizing football operations at the highest level. Since transitioning into management back in 2011, Edu has been the architect behind some of the most successful transfer strategies in recent memory. At Arsenal, he was the mastermind identifying talent, structuring deals, and building squads capable of competing with Europe's elite. His track record speaks for itself. This is someone who helped Brazil lift their first Copa America in 12 years. Someone who understands both the global market and what it takes to build sustainable success. Now he's bringing that winning mentality, that strategic brilliance, and that global perspective to our club. President Evangelos Marinakis hasn't just made an appointment here, he's made a statement of intent that reverberates across the entire football landscape. When Edu talks about building a competitive, sustainable football model aligned with innovation and long-term planning, you know this isn't just corporate speak. This is the real deal. But hold on to your scarves because the strategic masterstrokes don't stop there. While Edu's setting up the infrastructure for success, there's been serious movement in the transfer market that shows just how ambitious our plans really are. We're not just window shopping anymore. We're actively pursuing targets that prove we're thinking big, really big. Intelligence suggests we're part of an exclusive queue of clubs tracking a highly rated defender who's been turning heads across Europe. Thomas Christensen, the 24-year-old Skal Hardishner, 23-year-old Danish international centre-back from Udinese, has caught the attention of our recruitment team, and when you look at his profile, it's easy to see why. This lad isn't just another defender, he's exactly the kind of player who could slot seamlessly into our defensive setup. Christensen's journey from Aarhus GF to Serie A shows the kind of progression we love to see. He's made 50 appearances for Udinese, proving himself capable at the highest level of Italian football. And his versatility, operating both as a center-back and right-back, gives us tactical flexibility that's invaluable in the modern game. The fact that Udinese rejected a $15 million bid from Wolves in January tells you everything about his market value and potential. With Murilo and Nikola Milenkovic forming one of the Premier League's most formidable partnerships, adding Christensen to that mix would give us defensive depth that most clubs can only dream about. But here's the thing. This isn't just about strengthening for the sake of it. Every move we're making fits into a bigger picture, a grander strategy that's about to culminate in something absolutely spectacular. Because while we're building for the future with defensive reinforcements and revolutionary leadership appointments, we've already secured a signing that perfectly encapsulates everything this new era represents. A player who embodies skill, determination, and proven ability at the highest level. Someone who's already demonstrated they can deliver when it matters most, particularly against opposition that even Arsenal couldn't overcome. The final piece of this incredible puzzle, the player who represents everything about our new ambitions and global outlook, the striker who's about to become the focal point of our attack for years to come, is none other than Igor Jesus. This 24-year-old Brazilian sensation has just completed his move to the city ground, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. Here's a player who's captured the imagination of football fans worldwide with his performances for Botafogo, particularly in their remarkable Club World Cup triumph. When Arsenal were knocked out of the Champions League by Paris Saint-Germain, it was Igor Jesus who scored the winning goal against those same PSG superstars in the Club World Cup final. Think about that for a moment. This lad did what Arsenal's entire squad couldn't manage, breaking down the European champions when it mattered most. The beautiful irony of it all? Edu Gaspar had been tracking Igor Jesus during his time at Arsenal, recognizing the striker's potential long before he became a household name. Now, as our global head of football, Edu finally gets to work with the player he'd identified as a future star. It's like all the stars have aligned perfectly for this moment. Igor Jesus brings that South American flair, that clinical finishing ability, and that big match temperament that could transform our attacking options. His record of 2 goals in 4 Club World Cup games, including that winner against PSG, shows he's not intimidated by the biggest stages. This is exactly the kind of player who can make the difference between good seasons and great seasons, between competing and conquering. What we're witnessing here isn't just smart recruitment, it's the birth of a new era at Nottingham Forest. With Edu's strategic vision guiding our operations, quality defenders like Christensen in our sights, and proven goal scorers like Igor Jesus leading our line, we're not just building a team, we're building a legacy. So hit that subscribe button, tell your mates, and get ready for what promises to be the most exciting chapter in Nottingham Forest's recent history. Because with moves like these, we're not just surviving in a Premier League, we're preparing to thrive. The revolution starts now, and Igor Jesus is leading the charge.